Welcome to the Big Tyme Journey. I know it's been a while since I've sat down to talk, express, discuss, but I think I finally found the next topic. And it's kind of a two-part topic. One is signs, show me the signs. And it goes into the aspects of why we play pretend. Why do we play make-believe? Why do we believe or try to believe in something that's not really a reality, not really a truth, but it seems to be easier to convince ourselves that it's easier to stay with the lie than admit to the truth or to admit to the failure. And it doesn't necessarily need to be a failure. See, we get this pre-notion that when something doesn't go right, when it fails, that is automatically failure. We are failures and we have failed. So therefore, we don't let the failure happen, then we haven't failed. And we get our mindset stuck on that idea that sometimes we allow ourselves to stay in places, stay in times, stay in relationships that we think we can save, we can make right, we can fix, we can do again, we can make it better. We feel this idea that we can survive through it, that it'll get better with time, that it is more painful to admit that it's not going to work, because then we have to accept some level of fail, which makes us a failure. We refuse to say that I failed and it's okay. See, it's okay to fail. Life is about failure. If we don't learn how to fail at something, we cannot become better at it. So to lock ourselves into this ideology that it's a failure and it's a devastating end and it's just a failure and we have failed and there's nothing from it but failure is completely wrong. As a kid, did you not learn to ride a bike? Did you magically do it the very first time, or did you get on, fall down, fall off, do something wrong? Did you fail? Did you go out and try for a sport and the first time you went out to it you just did poorly? Maybe you failed at it, but you went and did it again and again and again until you got better at it. See, failure is a part of growth, a part of development. Now, you're thinking, well, if you fail, you keep doing it, right? You go back and do it. Yes and no. If you get in a relationship with somebody and both parties aren't giving everything, or one party is doing things that are not fulfilling you or not making you a better person, making the relationship a better relationship, making the pairing, the coupling, the two of you better and overall. If you're looking at it and going, I'm failing, this relationship isn't going to work, this is unhealthy, leaving that relationship may be a failure, but it's a lesson to learn of what went wrong. What happened in that relationship that didn't work for you, and what can you do to build yourself up better so you don't go through that same thing again. See, to fail in a relationship, you have to look at it and be willing to analyze yourself, analyze the situation, and be open and honest with yourself about what happened in the relationship. What could you have done differently? And what were you given that upset you? What were the things, the parameters, what were the things that were done that left you questioning everything in life? Sometimes relationships aren't going to work out. No matter how badly you want them to work, at some point you have to wake up to the realization that it's not going to work, that you can't save it, that you can't fix it, because you're going to give so much of yourself away that you will become lost. You will become secondary to who you really are. You are going to give up your true nature. You're going to give up yourself to fulfill somebody else. And that's what we do in relationships. We get so deeply involved and we keep saying, oh, it's going to get better, or they'll change. And then when we confront them and say, hey, you're doing these things wrong, and they go, oh, I'm sorry, I will change these things, I will change my ways, I will get better. But they don't really do anything to make those steps or make those processes or make those changes. So therefore we keep telling ourselves, oh, we got to keep giving him a chance. I don't want to fail at this relationship. I've had many failed relationships before. I'm tired of relationships that fail. I want this one to be successful. Now, yes, in a relationship, you've got to be willing to give. You've got to be willing to put in your 100%. You've got to be willing to fight for true feelings, true love. But again, if the other side's not feeding back into you, if they're not giving you that same fulfillment, if they're not building you up, if they're not making you feel better, if there's not a mutual, a partnership, a balance. Now that doesn't mean that one partner won't pick up the other at times. There isn't times where one might be really sick and down and can't do certain things, or just having a bad day, that the other partner's going to pick up that slack and carry that partner through. But it still should be reciprocated when you're down, or you're having a bad day, or you're sick, or you just can't do it, that your partner can come in and go, I understand, and carry you through. But if you're in a relationship where the other one's playing games, victimizing you, or victimizing themselves, or manipulating the situation to always make you question your own thoughts, your own ideas, your own everything, if you are constantly feeling like, wait, am I crazy? Am I making this up? Is this all in my head? If you have a partner that plays games, I mean, let's talk about the partner that gets angry, or let's talk about the partner who goes out, leaves, doesn't really tell you what they're doing or where they're going, leaves you wondering for hours on end, where are they? What are they doing? Why are they not talking to me? Why are they not communicating with me? Now, let's reverse that. If you were that person to leave and just go and disappear from that partner and not tell them what you were doing, would the reactions be the same? Would you be allowed to do that, or would the consequences be so severe that you're already afraid to even think of that idea to do it? Stop telling yourself that it's not there. Don't tell yourself something to make believe and pretend everything's okay. Quit putting the band-aids and patching up the walls to a relationship that's falling apart and broken when you know inside it's killing you. We want to talk about signs. Let's talk about signs. Do we ask for signs all the time? Can I please get a sign? Whether it's from a higher power or the world around us, if we are searching for signs, whatever your sign may be, whatever you're searching for sign, we all seem to want to find a sign that fits what we want, not a sign that's telling us what is coming. See, we get trapped in this idea that we want signs, and then we see a sign, but we blow off that sign because it doesn't fit into our narrative. We're looking for the signs that are going to make us feel better, that are going to justify what we're thinking, what we're feeling, what we want. And this is where we turn a blind eye to things. Because when we look at a relationship, we go, should I stay in this relationship? Should I continue doing this? Can I please get a sign? I just need the sign to know what I'm doing. Am I doing the right thing? And then when the sign comes up that, no, this is bad. This isn't where you're supposed to be. This isn't your point in life. This isn't your story. This isn't your chapter. This isn't your place, your time, your moment. No. When the sign comes and it says you need to leave, and you're like, no, I don't want to leave. So you go looking for that sign that says, yeah, stay. It's like talking to a whole bunch of friends that can see what's going on. And it's what we do. When we get into relationships, we become blinded to all the things around us. We blind ourselves to the things that we don't want to confront, we don't want to face. And we put up these blinders, but then we have all of our friends going, hey, this is going on, this is going right. No. That's not really how it is. Have you ever found yourself finding the friends that support the relationship? Or maybe you're isolated away from anybody that's really your friend, and you're with their friends, and their friends are the friends that they're telling you, oh, this is a great relationship, he's a good guy, you're doing great. But if you went to your friends, they'd be like, yeah, this is not good, this is not what you should be doing, they're treating you like crap. Wake up, wake up, wake up. We are so easily to search for signs that fit to fill our needs, the signs that are going to make us feel good, not the signs that are reality, not the signs that we're looking at that are going to hurt us. And part of life is hurt, part of the life is pain, part of the life is facing that pain and dealing with that pain and healing from that pain. This is what growing up's about. Are you in a relationship that you constantly question everything or anything? If you're in a relationship and you have to question anything, then why are you in that relationship? Because your partner should never leave you questioning anything. Why should you have questions? And it shouldn't be questions. Even if you have questions, it shouldn't be questions that you're afraid to ask. See? Like, they should be questions that you're able to go to your partner and say, hey, blah, and they're able to come up with a rational, clear response. Not a manipulative response. Not, where were you last night? Why didn't you call? I was hanging with my friends, my phone died. That's an answer, yes. And there may be some truth in that answer. But if your partner cares enough, they understand that communication is going to be key. Let alone communication and the aspect of knowing who you are. When you get into a relationship, part of that relationship is developing together and growing together. Meaning you should learn about one another. That you should know the things about each other that makes you who you are. So if you're somebody that's very inquisitive or somebody who's had a past that's left you with issues with trust, a partner that's with you is going to understand that and accept that you have issues with trust. Not trusting them, but understanding that because you have a past, you have a history where trust was broken, and they're going to understand that, and they are not going to twist those emotions. Like, they're not going to play into giving you reasons not to trust them, because they should understand right then and there that this doesn't make anything better, that this is going to leave you questioning and wondering and going to create into an argument or a fight or some type of discussion. See, the key would be, if you know the other person, if you really truly love the other person, you really know the person, you're keen to how they feel and how they interact and what things may trigger them or what things may upset them, then why would anybody choose to do those things? Why would you put yourself in a relationship where somebody's constantly triggering you, constantly causing you to be upset, constantly trying to control everything you do? You got in a relationship where you just keep accepting everything, and as you look back, you start losing everything. You lose your car, you lose your place to live, you lose your bank account, you lose your sense of being, and all you become is a subject to the other person, because they have such control over you, because you can't do anything without them, because you don't have any elements of freedom or ways out or escape. You become trapped, imprisoned. It's not a healthy relationship when one side has the control. If you're losing control of your life because of a relationship, then something is vitally wrong. And it's time to say stop. It's time to go, no, this isn't right. I need my car. I need to have money. Now, this doesn't say you can't have a joint account, but you both need to feel that you have balance and power and control over that. When you become so reliant on one person, now there are marriages where there are relationships, marriages, whatever you want to call them, where one person is the provider. And as long as they're providing for the other person and giving them their needs and making sure they feel and have those things that they need, then that's okay. But it's when a partner takes that abuse of power and uses it as a controlling mechanism to keep another person trapped. And these are the signs that you need to be looking at and listening to and being in tune to and thinking, oh, wait a minute, this isn't going in the right direction. Instead of looking for the sign that's saying, oh, he's doing it because he cares. He's doing it because he wants to provide for you. He's doing it, or she's doing it, or they're doing it, however you want to put the label, to take care of you. Are they, though? Are they really taking care of you? Or are you looking around going, you're trapped? The moment you tell yourself, I feel trapped, then it's time to face the reality that you are, and that something is vitally wrong and something needs to change. Can it be fixed? Yes. In some situations, you can sit down with your partner and work together to find a resolution to the issue. But when you look at it and it's constantly the same thing and things aren't getting better, sometime you've got to jump off the ship. When you're left to question your own sanity, when the moment you question that they want to be with somebody else, you're on a dying ship. You're on a sinking ship. You're in a dying relationship. And to continue to put patches and excuses and make up reasons that it's going to be okay is completely irrational, and you've lost control. And now you're not serving for yourself, but you're serving for them, and you're not taking care of yourself. You become a subject. See, we forget to pay attention to the signs that are important. We only want to see the signs that we want because they make us feel better. And it's not about finding the signs that are going to make you feel better. It's about realizing the signs that are there, acknowledging them, accepting them, and doing something about it. Now, this doesn't always mean if you're in a relationship that's gone bad that necessarily you need to run. You have to take you have to examine the relationship. You have to take stock in the relationship. Is this something that's fixable? Can you sit down with your partner and discuss what is going on? Can you tell them how you feel about whatever the situation is, and are they receptible? Can they can they take that? Can they understand where you're coming from and have that conversation and find a way and a path to fixing it? But don't just let that be, don't let a fix simply be like, I promise that I'm going to get better. No, you got to show that you're going to get better, or else. If they're doing the same thing over and over again, do you not know what the definition of insanity is? Reliving the same situation over and over again, expecting a different result, doing the same thing over and over again, and thinking something's going to change. Going into the same relationships over and over again and thinking it's going to get better, that you can fix it, that you can change them, that you're going to be the rescuer. That's a mindset that's not going to bring you any good. If you're to a point where you're ready to give up, that you feel defeated, that nobody cares at all, that it's easier to just give up and admit defeat, to just surrender, then the relationship you're in is not healthy. If they have made you question your insanity, if you've been just pushed to the deepest, darkest of despair, then they're wrong. If they're doing things that make you question anything, then you need to confront them and fix it. And if it can't be fixed, it's time to get out. And don't use the excuses. We are so easy to be like, I want to leave, but I can't because I don't have something. I don't have money. I don't have a car. I don't have a way. No. See, now you're giving yourself an excuse to stay. You're giving an excuse to justify why you're really not doing anything. And you can't, because you're just going to be stuck in that circle. You're going to be stuck in that same repetitive pattern. Because the more you repeat the pattern, the more they get control, because the more they're like, oh, you're not going to really do anything. You're not going to really leave. You'll come back. Why should I do anything? Don't let them manipulate you. Don't let them tell you stories. Don't let them feed you bullshit. I'm not perfect. I've done my things. And I regret them. I was somebody who felt certain ways. I have been on almost both sides. Am I proud of that? No. But I understand who I was and who I'm becoming. I understand that choices that I made in the past don't have to be the choices I can make now. I don't have to be that same person. I don't necessarily need to have all this control and play people, because it doesn't do any good. It really doesn't fix anything. In the end, I'm more miserable than I was to start with. And I wind up hurting other people. And I've been in relationships where I begged the other person and forgave them for stuff that I should have never forgiven for them in the first place. I've walked that way. I've walked both ways. And it's shameful. And that's why I can sit here and tell you, you can't do this to yourself. You deserve better. We all deserve better. A relationship should be a mutual partnership where both sides are giving 100. Meeting towards the middle, building together on the same foundation, that you can come to one another and have a conversation, that it's okay to have a disagreement, it's okay to have a fight, as long as it's not a physical and it's not just over-the-top fight. I mean, you can fight in a debate type of style, like you can disagree in a conversational way. As long as you're not hurting the other person, as long as you're not emotionally, mentally, physically hurting the other person. This even means name-calling, putting down the other person, or attacking them for something from the past. No. You can have a debate about something that's gone on, but it's about having that similar conversation. And sometimes, yes, you may not be able to be in that right mind, and sometimes you have to set those parameters and sit down and go, okay, we right now cannot have this conversation because we're not in the right mindset to have the proper conversation. So that's when you need to take the time out, step back, let calmer heads prevail, and come back and talk about this conversation in a calm setting, in a calm manner, and in a conversation where you both can feel that you gain from it, that you both can grow from it. The fighting's sake is not going to win you anything. Accepting to stay in a relationship that's not making you better, that doesn't make you feel like your life is progressing forwards, then it's not a relationship worth being in. Signs. Pretending, make-believe. Are you in a relationship that you're just pretending that everything's okay? Do you know inside that it's ready to come to an end, but you're not willing to give it up because you don't want to be a failure? You don't want to label. You don't want to admit defeat. You don't want to admit that you couldn't make it work. Stop. Sometimes it's not about what you didn't do. Sometimes it's about the other person, and sometimes you become so trapped in that idea that you're going to be the failure. It's okay to have failed. It's okay to fail once. It's okay to fail twice. It's okay to fail 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can fail many times. It's about the bigger picture. It's about the inroad. Do you eventually get it? Do you eventually wake up and go, that's the key. Can you be married 6 times? Can you look at the world and go, I failed 6 marriages? And be able to still hold your head high, because that is the key. That's how you overcome the failure, is by going, okay, these didn't work out. Why did they not work out? Find that pattern, what you can do differently. What boundaries do you need to set up? What is it that you need? And how do you heal yourself? How do you overcome the past? How do you fix yourself so you can be better for the next person? When do you love yourself? That's the key. You have to love yourself. You have to love yourself for who you are, how you look, the things you've done. You have to love yourself for who you are and who you are right now. And that's flaws and all. That's every scar that you carry, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. There are scars that are worn that we know that others may not see, and you have to be able to love those things and love those imperfections and love those times that you failed. Love those times when you screwed up and did something really stupid. Love yourself because you survived and became better than that. That's the key. Did you do something that you regret so much that you wish it would have never happened, but you can't go back and change it? Accepting that and loving yourself in despite of that dumb choice, that stupid decision, and realizing, you know what, I'm not that person. I don't need to be that person. I did something. I regret it. I'm sorry, but I am better now, and I will do better. Love yourself. Empower yourself. Love yourself to empower yourself to be better, to be stronger, to be wiser. These are the keys. Are you in a relationship with somebody that's controlling you, who's got you all spun around? Are you screaming out for help, but at the same time telling yourself it's all you? You keep accepting their excuses. You keep justifying their actions because you're afraid. Are you in a relationship where you feel like you don't have a way out, and if you were to leave, it'd all be just really bad? And you're in a really bad situation, you need to get out, and there's people that are going to be there that are going to help you get out. Quit telling yourself it's going to get better. Quit putting band-aids up. Quit blaming yourself. Love yourself. Maybe you are the person that's causing the pain in the relationship. Maybe you're the one that's controlling. Maybe you're sitting here going, am I this person? Maybe you are. And maybe you need to change who you are. Maybe it's time to waken up to what you're doing to your partner. Maybe it's time for you to face the reality and say, man, I'm doing a lot of things to hurt them. I'm doing a lot of things to make them feel bad when I'm feeling bad, when I'm hurting, when I don't love myself enough, so I'm hurting them feel better. And I don't want to be this person anymore. I want them to be happy. I want to see them achieve. I want to see them brighten and shine. I want to see them sparkle. I want to see them at their best. If you're the person that's making the other person miserable, maybe you need to wake up and realize that you're doing something wrong and it's time for you to change, and real change. Maybe it's time to admit help. Maybe you can't do it on your own. You've got to go seek somebody who can give you the advice and the guidance and the direction to do it. Change is capable by anybody. Anybody can change. It's just a choice in your heart, in your mind, in your body, in your soul to change, to say, I am going to change. I am going to be better. I am going to do these things to make me better. Not necessarily for anybody else, but for me, so I can be better, so I can treat others better, so I can make things better in my life. If you're a person that's trapped in a relationship and the other person isn't changing, and you keep making excuses, you keep making up reasons, you keep justifying, forgiving them, letting it go, letting it slide, let it happen time and time again. If they've questioned you where you're to the point where it's just like you don't care anymore and all you want is out, or you don't want to be here anymore because it's just that bad, then that is not healthy. Get up and run, walk away. There is some place you can go. You're not trapped, you're not locked down, you can get out. There are people who want to help you, even though you may not see it or hear it or feel it. There are people. You have to reach out to these people. You have to give them the opportunity to be there for you. Signs, pretending, signs are everywhere. Stop looking for the signs that are going to make you feel good. Look for the signs that are the ones that you feel in your gut. Look for the signs that you are trying to avoid. Look at those signs and realize that the signs are telling you maybe not what you want to hear, but they're the truth. Follow the real signs, not the signs that are going to make you feel better, not the signs that are going to justify what you're doing. Don't take the signs that are easy. Take the signs that are going to be hard, because the road of life is going to be hard. Pretending, patching, band-aiding, whatever you want to call it. Stop. Stop pretending it's going to get better when the pattern's been the same. Get out of the circle of insanity. Live your life. Love yourself. Grow. Move on. I promise you, there is better for you. There is better for you. Somebody out there will love you for who you are, as you come. Stop telling yourself it's not going to happen, because it is. There is somebody. I don't care what the situation, there is somebody. You just got to be willing and open for them to come into your life. Quit pushing away the good to hold on to the bad. Quit shutting out the people who are giving you the things you don't want to hear, because they're the ones who love you, who are giving you honesty. Get out. Find yourself. Heal yourself. Free yourself. It's not worth living this life of unhappiness. It's not worth this life of misery. It's not worth living that same circle. It's not worth being on bended knees begging, why me? Why am I here? Why is it the same thing over and over again? Why? If that is you, it's time for a change. Get out. Be happy. Live life. There is somebody out there for you. Don't close yourself off. Don't put the blinders on. Love yourself. Heal yourself. Free yourself. The signs are there. You may not like them, but look at the signs. This is the big time journey. This is signs. I thank you for listening. I hope something I said tonight will help you. And I thank you for listening. Give me a thumbs up. Share this video out with anybody that you think may need to hear it. And I thank you. And until we meet again, until I come here to this place and share whatever wisdom, knowledge, life lesson, whatever it may be with you. I will see you again soon.